Men, it is time to stop giving your power away. And women, it's time to stop being with these types of men. Hello, this video is for anyone who's trying to become the best version of themselves. If that is not you, this video is just going to trigger you, so I advise you to not watch. I've talked about many times about how we are programmed from the moment we are born. And so I want to talk about how men are programmed to basically be simps and women obsessed to the point where they never make anything out of themselves and they let it take over their life. Not everyone. There's a top percentage that doesn't do this. And then I'm not saying all men do this, but I see a lot of people get caught up in this trap. And so, women, I want you to be able to recognize these men and stay away from them. So, I don't watch TV, but a few months ago, I actually had cable at the place I was staying. So, I decided to turn it on and see what type of programming came on. So Friends was on, and I've seen that show before, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch that show. So I'm watching it, and I'm catching on to all of the programming, of course, and that's a Nickelodeon show. So anyways, so Chandler and Joey are painted as these women obsessed simps. They just go crazy, and they're just like, it's pretty pathetic to see like how they act when it comes to like women. Like they were acting like these little boys, and I was like, okay, that's like showing people that's like programming us that okay, it's normal for guys to just be completely obsessed with women and be complete simps for them. And then they casually threw out some things about corn, and like normalizing it, and like, okay, obviously everyone watches corn, like, which is just subtle programming. And I've talked about in my last videos about how corn is from the darkness, because sexual energy is powerful. If you can properly harness your sexual energy, you can move mountains, okay? And I'm still trying to learn how to do this, but I'm learning a lot. And you do not want to be giving your sexual energy away via corn, because not only are you giving it away to something like that, you're basically giving it away to the darkness, and then you're opening yourself up to negative entities. But besides that, not many people realize that your sexual energy is so powerful. So that's one of the main reasons that they target sexuality and they over sexualize things. And because if they are able to steal that power from you by you giving it away to corn and all these women on the internet, if you're a man, and for females, I'm not saying it's just men. Trust me, it's not just men, but it's mainly men, because it's easier to sexualize a woman than it is to sexualize a man. But anyways, if you are constantly giving that away, you like, they don't teach you how to use the sexual energy. So sexual energy, our sacral chakra is the chakra associated with sexuality, which is also creativity. So for people who are constantly releasing their sexual energy all the time, multiple times a day, multiple times a week, they are just getting rid of that, and they're giving their power away, and they're not going to be able to use that for good, which is why it's targeted. And so I've actually started coming across information about something called semen retention. And there's this guy I follow on Instagram who I'm very impressed with. He talks about, he talks about like how porn opens you up to negative entities. So right away I was resonating with him. I'm like, okay, like this guy's legit. He knows what's going on. He posted the other day, he's on day 111 of semen retention, which that is impressive. But when you do that, you're like, I can't even imagine someone doing that, but that's impressive. But when he's doing that, he's harnessing that power for so many good things. And I don't fully know exactly everything about it, and this guy has a girlfriend and he's still doing that. So I'm not saying like, oh my God, you guys have to go do that for hundreds of days. But I'm just saying something to think about. So you need to really stop releasing your sexual energy constantly if you want to become the best version of yourself, especially giving it away to random people on the internet and corn. That is just you feeding into the darkness. You're exactly where they want you. So that's why I'm trying to raise awareness of this. Since the darkness knows that sexual energy is so powerful, that is why they have targeted our sexuality. And it's pretty easy to do because of the fact that you can get so much dopamine from doing that. So it's very easy for them to harness, and then they can over sexualize women. They've made it normalized. I mean, women are out here selling themselves on OnlyFans. The darkness knows that it's easy to manipulate people and keep people stuck in their lower chakras. So we have 7 main chakras, okay? Now, the sacral chakra is the second from the bottom. So your root is the bottom chakra. That's like your groundedness, you're feeling safe, feeling stable. Whereas the sacral is like your sexual creative energy. And if they are able to keep you stuck in your sacral chakra, you're never going to really be moving that energy up to the other chakras above the solar plexus, or above the sacral chakra is the solar plexus. That's the chakra of personal power. So you're one chakra away from stepping into your personal power. Above that is the heart chakra, which, if you are able to realize the importance of love, then you can jump timelines and you are going to be aligned with God and stepping into your highest timeline. Above that is the throat chakra, speaking your truth, which I had blocked for a while, and now I'm finally out here speaking the stuff that I know the way I'm supposed to. Then above the throat is the third eye, your intuition, your psychic senses, your connection to wisdom. And the crown chakra, the connection to the higher realms, to God, to all that is. So keeping people stuck in the sacral chakra limits them so much. All of their energy is stuck in that sacral. People get addicted to releasing their sexual energy multiple times a day. They're thinking about that next time. That energy is all, you see what I mean? That energy is all concentrated in the sacral, and it's not a positive concentration. Because, like I said, if you're in love with someone and you are using that energy for good, you are going to be able to do very powerful things with your sexual energy. You guys have no idea. But, anyways, if they are doing it, so they're stuck in their sacral, also with darkness, because they're using bad things while they're doing it that are going to keep them susceptible to dark things. They're never rising up into these other chakras that are going to align them with their highest timeline and help them step into the powerful being that they are capable of being, that we all are capable of being. If you are able to see past all of these illusions that are placed among us, such as this, such as other things I've mentioned on this channel, my channel is to raise awareness of all of the things that the darkness have placed everywhere to keep you from stepping into the divine being that you are with infinite potential to create anything, okay? You can create anything. And I'm so sick of seeing so many people throw their life away because they have become victim and let themselves stay down to all the traps that the darkness has placed. So that is why I've started this channel, because I want you guys to step into your power, okay? It's the best feeling ever when you're not feeding into these systems anymore. I also want to make it clear that I'm not trying to shame you if you are someone who is releasing your sexual energy a lot, watching porn, but I just am raising awareness to help you. And it's not your fault. You've been programmed to be wired that way, to be fixated on those things. Everywhere you turn, they're over sexualizing women. And like there's OnlyFans, like Instagram, there's all of these people revealing themselves to get like views and make money. And if you're feeding into that, like if you are following a bunch of OnlyFans models and a bunch of pages dedicated to that, like, ladies, I want you to stay away from those types of men, because that shows you where their priorities are at. So, men, if you don't know this, women do look at who you follow. We do. Because it's a way of seeing kind of it. When you look at who someone follows, it tells you a lot about them. It really shows you where their priorities are at. Now, you can, of course, say this isn't necessarily 100% true, because maybe you followed some people a long time ago and now, like, you're not looking at that anymore and it's not really even showing you on the feed, so you haven't unfollowed them. But I do think you can really get a good feel of someone from who they follow. Personally, I try to follow successful people, and I'm trying to unfollow anyone who is not someone that I want to be looking at. If I see them post, I'm like, if this doesn't align, I unfollow. So yes, we do look at who you follow. And when we see that a man is following a bunch of OnlyFans models and even a bunch of celebrities is unattractive to me, it's like, kind of just, to me, it's unattractive. It's like, okay, you're like obsessing over all these celebrities. Even if they're not obsessing, it just shows that they're like a typical person that's influenced by celebrities, this. And I'm pretty much, we're all kind of realizing like these celebrities are very twisted. And so to me, it's just unattractive to see someone following these types of accounts, because it makes me instantly think, okay, like, that type, instantly I'm like, okay, this is not someone I would want to be with, because their priorities are to look at all these scandalous women, and they are feeding into the system of keeping their energy in their sacral and not stepping into who they could be. I just think of that person as someone who's a complete simp for women, and that's all they care about. And I will never be with someone like that. So, men, I'm telling you this so that you can recognize and kind of self reflect and realize, first of all, that you're feeding into these systems. But second of all, is that how you want to be perceived by people? Another thing that I think people don't talk about a lot is how messed up it is when you see someone who has a girlfriend liking OnlyFans models' pics. My friend and I kept seeing this, and one time we looked at through his following, and we saw him following like so many OnlyFans, and this guy has had a girlfriend for years. And we were just like, first of all, to see your name on that post liking that is embarrassing, not only for you, but for her. It's a disrespect to her. Naked pictures that you are liking. And it makes you seem like a complete simp. Like, I look at you so, I look at people so differently when I see them liking those types of pics, because it shows me where a lot of their priorities are at and where their energy is at. I'm just being honest with you guys. So, women, be careful when you see these types of men. I do believe people can change, but personally, I'm not going to waste my time with someone who is not focused on themselves and is giving so much of their energy away to these OnlyFans models on Instagram, and probably watching corn too. Like, it kind of gives you an indicator of the type of person that you're dealing with. So, women, just be careful. Do you want to be with someone who's not focused? Do you want to be with someone who probably has a wandering eye, who's going to be constantly looking at all these pages on their Instagram feed nonstop? That is not the type of person you want to be with. You want to be with someone who is focused on them, focused on bringing their energy up and stepping into their power. I also want to add that society has subtly programmed us to think that hookup culture is normal, but you guys need to really be careful with this. Every time you sleep with anyone, not only are you exchanging entities, so if the person is watching porn, you're taking on negative attachments, you're also creating a cord through anyone you sleep with. Now, if you've had a time where you slept around, you're able to heal this. You're able to transmute these cords and cut these cords. But it's better to just not do it in the first place. So I want you guys to realize that hookup culture is not normal. It's not good. I want you guys to have more self respect for yourself if you want to be in your highest timeline. I personally am celibate now because I am not going to take on energies of other people. I'm not going to create cords with these people. I respect myself too much. My body, and I am so sacred that these people do not deserve to have access to me in that way. And so you need to be very selective with who you sleep with. And before you sleep with someone, think, do I want to have an accord with this person? Do I want to take on their unhealed energies? Is this person healed? Do I want to take on their unhealed wounds? So be careful. Like I said, though, this video will not resonate with everyone. Not everyone is trying to get to their highest timeline. So I'm not saying like you have to follow this. I'm just saying if you want to live your best life and step into the highest potential that you have, you should really listen to me and my other videos, because I'm just revealing everything that most people don't talk about. I hope this helps you guys recognize things not only about yourself, but about the people that you're maybe prospecting as potential dating candidates. I really just want to help not only men, but women to stay away from people who are not focused. If you want to hear more about why I love being single so much and why it is ridiculous that society has kind of demonized being single as being a loser, watch my next video. I love you all. Please comment and let me know if you have questions about anything else.